Hello again everyone, and welcome back to our Naruto walkthrough. Today we will be completing our final major side quest, that is Orochimaru's master plan. Our focus for today will be Orochimaru's attempt to take Sasuke's body using Fushi Tensei in chapter 344. Specifically, we are going to investigate the timing of this attempt. So you know the drill by now. Let us try to find discrepancies with this Fushi Tensei. For the first two discrepancies, let us check why exactly Orochimaru couldn't take Sasuke's body earlier than this. The first half of the explanation we are given is that Orochimaru in fact did intend to take Sasuke's body much earlier than this, namely at the end of part 1, before the time skip. Unfortunately for him, his current host was dying, and as a result, we are told Orochimaru was at risk of dying as well, so he had to quickly swap bodies. Sasuke didn't arrive in time, so in order to save his life, Orochimaru had to settle for a placeholder body. At the time, although the coincidence was a bit fortunate for Sasuke, this explanation could seem reasonable. However, after this, we've got some conflicted information. In chapter 344, we see Orochimaru completely ditch his current host in order to assume his white snake form and start the Fushi Tensei ritual. In the following chapter, we get to see that the white snake is quite resilient, because even after getting cut into slices by Sasuke, Orochimaru is still completely fine. So, it seems a bit dubious that, at the end of part 1, if Orochimaru's host was truly dying, he couldn't just leave the host and wait a couple of hours in the white snake form until Sasuke arrived. It seems a bit weird that he had to immediately jump into another body. Much later in the novel, this becomes a full discrepancy. Let's have a look at chapter 393. By this time, Orochimaru has been absorbed by Sasuke, forcefully extracted, stabbed, sealed away in an eternal genjutsu. And he's still not dead, he still can be brought back quite easily. So the idea that at the end of part 1, Orochimaru was at any risk of permanently dying just does not add up. That snake doesn't die that easily. So we definitely have a discrepancy. The second half of the explanation we are given is that Fushi Tensei has a long cooldown of a bit more than 3 years. So after taking the placeholder body, Orochimaru couldn't just use Fushi Tensei again the next day in order to switch to Sasuke's body this time. He had to wait until chapter 344. At the time, we had little choice but to believe this explanation. But once again later on, we get conflicting information. In chapter 618, we see Orochimaru swap bodies in order to take the body of a white Zetsu, and it hasn't been anywhere near 3 years since the last time he used Fushi Tensei. So this 3-year cooldown, if it even exists, can clearly be either avoided or decreased. That's our second discrepancy. So, putting those two discrepancies together, we can see that the entire reasoning as to why Orochimaru couldn't take Sasuke's body before chapter 344, in other words, before Sasuke was strong enough to defeat him, just does not add up. Let's move on to the third discrepancy. Now, we could mention that it's a bit weird Orochimaru trained Sasuke so well that it gets to the point where Sasuke is stronger than him. But we have an even better, much stronger discrepancy. Can you find it? We are going to use our and then what technique. So, let's say Orochimaru does take Sasuke's body at this juncture. What happens next? Well, what happens next is quite simple. If Orochimaru takes Sasuke's body now, he's dead. First thing is, Orochimaru would have to deal with an angry Itachi. And even if Itachi is sick, let's be real, Orochimaru is not winning against a bloodlusted Itachi. Additionally, there is a problem of the Akatsuki leaders. At this point of the novel, from Obito and Nagato's perspective, Orochimaru is, at worst, a little nuisance. He isn't a relevant threat to any of them. In fact, both Obito and Itachi are quite fine with what Orochimaru is doing at the moment, that is, training Sasuke. Orochimaru is a good teacher after all. So really, Akatsuki as a whole has no reason to hunt down Orochimaru. But if he takes Sasuke's body, everything changes. Sasuke has a lot of potential. Everyone knows that. He is after all an ninja reincarnate, just like Madara. So if Orochimaru takes Sasuke's body now, he's painting a target on his back because all of a sudden he would become a credible threat in the competition for the Jubi. So what is likely to happen is Obito and Nagato would quickly team up in order to kill Orochimaru, and then resume their own conflict. So, in total, what you're looking at is Orochimaru by himself against bloodlusted Itachi, plus Nagato, plus Obito. Orochimaru is just dead in that scenario. He wouldn't have much of a chance against any of these three. All three of them at once, it's a death sentence. So that's our third discrepancy. Taking Sasuke's body would be completely stupid at this juncture, because Orochimaru would just be giving himself a death sentence. So, if taking Sasuke's body at this juncture is a terrible idea, what is the move Orochimaru should play then? Can you find the killer move that Orochimaru should play, and in fact, the killer move that he did play? Are you ready? Here comes the killer move. Boom! Losing the Fushi Tensei battle on purpose and getting absorbed by Sasuke. What a fantastic move. So can you see the idea? What is the master plan? What is the continuation after this move? Well, the plan is actually fairly simple. After getting absorbed, you simply stay quietly inside Sasuke, and you ride him until his duel with Itachi. Now, Itachi of course intends to die to Sasuke, so that Sasuke will be hailed as a hero. But in order to make his defeat believable, Itachi is still going to give Sasuke a good fight. So what is going to happen is, both Itachi and Sasuke are going to exhaust each other, which is exactly what Orochimaru wants. So what you want to do as Orochimaru here is, you keep doing nothing, you wait until the very end of the duel, and only then you emerge. You retake Sasuke's body, winning the Fushi Tensei battle this time. You finish off Itachi if needed, and look at the fantastic position Orochimaru gets in just a few seconds, because he gets Sasuke's body, he gets Sasuke's Mangekyō Sharingan, which was awakened just a few seconds ago thanks to Itachi's death, and he can immediately take the Eternal Mangekyō Sharingan, because Itachi's eyes are available just next to Sasuke. So, in just a few seconds, Orochimaru goes from presumed dead to Eternal Mangekyō Sharingan inside the body of a ninja reincarnate. What a move! What a fantastic plan! Orochimaru goes from 0 to big favorite in the competition for the Jubi. Beautiful! So the cool thing is, it all happened so fast that no one is going to be able to react and arrive in time to stop Orochimaru. Speaking of stopping Orochimaru, who is left in the competition? A bit earlier in the video we talked about Itachi, Obito and Nagato. Well, if everything goes according to the plan, then Itachi is dead, and Nagato is in the process of invading Konoha, so that only leaves Obito. And sure, Obito is a powerful ninja, but in a 1v1 with the Eternal Mangekyō Sharingan, Orochimaru has very good chances. So Orochimaru is becoming the big-time favorite for the Jubi. And that is our hidden plot for today. We have completed the quest, that is, Orochimaru lost the Fushi Tensei battle on purpose against Sasuke. What a fantastic, brilliant move. Now you may be wondering, if Orochimaru is so brilliant, and if his plan was so wonderful, why did he fail so badly at a critical moment? Why did he get stabbed so easily by Itachi's Totsuka sword when he was so close to victory? Well, this is a perfect transition, for I have some good news. We have finally completed enough side quests to unlock the main Samehada quest, which we will start in the next episode. So I give you a little spoiler. Bam! This is the moment where everything went wrong for Orochimaru.